You've seen the videos, the photos of the Hamas attack, but what's the latest from Israel? I'm John Gager with 5 Minutes on the Ground, a conversation with Erez Soref, who is president of One for Israel. He joins us today from the north of Israel. When did you know that this was more than just a single isolated terrorist attack, but something big was really happening?
It's a Saturday morning, 6:30. Saturday is the day that we worship in our church here. I was a speaker that day, and so I got up at like 6:30, and I'm hearing those strange bangs that I cannot make out. And I was like, what is happening? Is somebody dropping heavy stuff on my roof? So I get up, and I look at my phone, and I cannot believe my eyes. I look at the news, and we live on the hills, the Judean hills outside of Jerusalem, and we have all the lowlands of Israel all the way to Ashkelon and Ashdod. We can see it from our yard, and I'm seeing those, smoke mushrooms, and I'm hearing the bombs drop, and I cannot believe my eyes. So just absolutely shocking. This realization that it's a full-scale war came probably around 2 p.m., I would say.
Well, when I look at a map showing where the attacks took place, I'm staggered by the number of places affected, but also the huge geographic area affected. Help our listeners understand this important distinctive.
The distances we're talking about in American sizes are very, very small. So imagine, from Dallas to Fort Worth, that's about the distance between the Gaza Strip and where we live. And so the distances that you're seeing on the map are much, much, much shorter than that. I mean, no more than, let's say, maximum 8 or 10 miles in radius. And so when you're on a truck, I mean, it's a matter of minutes. It's not that much. And it was, like you said, they went on a massacre or killing spree all over, and people were killed in their beds, in their homes, in their safe rooms, civilians. It's really horrible.
What's it like to live through that, though? How do you endure that level of intensity? This is not a 1 hour thing, a 1 or 2 bombs.
That's been a very difficult time for all of us, particularly the first 2 days were absolutely horrible, where you're kind of between trying to maintain some sort of a routine and doing something useful and something positive and helping the ones in need, and then having a siren, having to run to the safe room. Generally speaking, it's very, very, very difficult. I think most of us, we barely sleep at night. Just the thoughts and the concern and thinking about people we know that are much more in harm's way than we are. We have sirens and we go to the safe room, but there's a lot of people that are way, way closer to the front lines.
5 Minutes on the Ground, our conversation with Erez Soref, who is in Israel. What do you think Americans misunderstand about this conflict? What puzzle piece might we be missing?
The real concern and the real very, very, very sad conclusion is that those extreme Muslim people from the Hamas, the blindness and the hatred of their religion is just absolutely blinding them to anything else, and their sole desire is to see Israel destroyed, which, they will not. So in all candor, maybe the one piece that is missing is there is no solution. There is no, humanly speaking, there's no solution. The only solution is for both Jews and Arabs to come to know the Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus. The conflict began with the sons of Abraham quarreling on who the Father loves, and we see that unfold for 4,000 years. And so the roots are spiritual, and the solution for this conflict is therefore spiritual. We live in that reality day in and day out.
Our listeners, of course, will want to do something by way of response. What can we do? What can we pray that would make a difference, Erez?
Definitely pray for the kidnapped, so that God will provide a miraculous solution so they can come back to their families, particularly the women, the children, the elderly. And then also, please pray for One for Israel and many other ministries in the country that we're trying out to help the needy and provide hope for our people in a very bleak reality. So thank you for standing with us. Thank you for praying for us. Thank you for caring about what's happening in Israel. Really appreciate that, John.
Thank you. Dr. Erez Soref with 5 Minutes on the Ground on Moody Radio.